Squirrely Brown was a silly little girl, though she wasn't really brown and she wasn't quite a squirrel. Her real name was Mabel, which as names go isn't bad, but it never really fit her. So she asked her mom and dad if she could go by something better, something she herself picked out. Most little girls don't ask such things, and so they had their doubts. But Mr. Brown and her mother considered her request. Why not, they thought. Go on then. Pick a good one. Be our guest. She thought about it long and hard, at school and up in bed. One night she tried a little prayer-like thing in which she simply said, "Hello up there, universe. You might think this seems strange, but my name is Mabel Sable Brown, and I'm looking for a change." And then she went to sleep, and while she slept she had a dream in which she had a puffy tail and stored nuts up in a tree. In the morning when she woke, her dad said, "Breakfast's on the table." That little girl announced right there, "My name's no longer Mabel." Horatio Cornelius, her oddly named big brother, wondered if that meant she had decided on another. "I have," she said, with a smile so big you'd think she was a clown. "From now on, I'd prefer it if you'd call me Squirrely Brown." Now, a name like that is catchy, so it caught on right away. At school, her friends and teachers called her Squirrely the next day. At lunch, she sat beside her favorite teacher, Mr. Bing, who she loved because he was silly and he really loved to sing. The thing with Mr. Bing was he was wonderfully weird. But what made him even cooler was his fuzzy, nuzzy beard. She said to herself, "I'd like to have a beard like that someday, or maybe something bushier, with a little touch of gray." She imagined how she'd scratch her scruffy chin when she would think. Her mustache might begin to tickle when she took a drink. She decided that she'd try to grow a beard that very night. She snuggled up and wished and prayed with all her squirrely might. Well, you can guess what happened next. Her chin and lips and cheeks quickly sprouted up a beard that looked like it had grown for weeks. "Squirrely Brown, come down," her mother cried next morning, so she hopped right up and went downstairs without a word of warning. She yawned and stretched and scratched, and then in the kitchen she appeared. She had totally forgotten that she'd wished she had a beard. Horatio Cornelius, eating breakfast at his place, was the first to see his sister and her marvelous new face. "Mom," he cried, "there's something really, really wrong with Squirrely. There's fuzzy stuff around her mouth, and her chin and cheeks are curly." Her mother took one look and screamed, "We must call Dr. Blair." "But Mom," the squirrely girl replied, "I love my facial hair." And so it was decided, if she promised to behave, that for at least a day or two, she wouldn't have to shave. When she showed up at school, her appearance caused a stir. The other 4-year-olds had never seen a girl with fur. Immediately, all of her friends' little minds were blown. They begged poor Mr. Bing to help them grow beards of their own. He got out some construction paper, cotton balls, and glue, and with paint and string and other things, they made themselves beards too. He noticed, though, that Squirrely's didn't seem to be quite done growing. By lunchtime, it appeared as though her cheeks could use some mowing. He asked her if it bothered her having hair down to her pants. The mustachioed Miss Brown replied, "Well, only when I dance." But by the time the day was done, it had grown down to the floor, and though she loved her beard, she couldn't take it anymore. She gave her mom a bristly kiss and told her dad good night, and then she wished and prayed again with all her squirrely might. "Oh, universe, this beard was great. Someday I'll want another. But now I think I'm done with it. But you could give it to my brother." And that is the story of Squirrely Brown.